Hey guys, what's up? So here we go. We're going to do another combat achievement, and this time we're going to do the Corrupted Warrior in the Corrupt Gauntlet. And the entire point of this combat achievement is that we need to make a full set of Tier 3 armor and then take down the boss. So in order to make a full set of Tier 3 armor, we're going to need 13 of each supply. Or the way I like to think of it is 5 spawns of each supply. So that means 5 rocks, 5 trees, and 5 of the little poof balls. And that'll be 13 supplies each. So the hard part of this combat achievement is getting those good spawns, right? We need pretty decent spawns where we're not running around hunting for them the entire time. And so there is going to be a little bit of reset scape required with this achievement. But once you get those good spawns, it's pretty much free because you have that really good armor. So it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to take down the boss. But yeah, this is going to be part of our Earn Your Master Defender Hilt combat achievement series, where we earn enough combat achievement points to finally get our new Master Defender Hilt and all the cool rewards that come along with it. So if you've been hanging around the channel for a while, or you've been learning a lot from these guides and having fun, throw me that like, throw me that sub, and let's go beat the Corrupted Warrior. So yeah, as I mentioned, this combat achievement will require a little bit of reset scape, where we're looking for those really good spawns, but you can see right here, we got that first room and it had a lot of different supplies in it right now. So I said that rather than thinking about 13 of each, I'm going to think about getting 5 of each spawn. And you can see right there, I got 1 poof ball, and now we're going for the second poof ball. So we have 2 poof balls, and it looks like right here we have a tree, and over in there we have a rock in the corner. So we have 2 poof balls, a tree, and we haven't collected the rock yet. So what I'm going to be doing, because the hard part of this is really its inventory management, right? So as I'm gathering supplies, I'm constantly taking a mental note of how many of each supply I've actually gathered, right? So at this point, I've gathered 2 poof balls, a tree, and this is the 3rd rock. And now we're going to go grab another tree. So that's now 2 poof balls, 2 trees, and 3 rocks. And we're about halfway there. So this would be a pretty good time where we can actually go back and start making some of our armor, and that'll clear up our inventory a little bit. But in the process, we can look for a demi-boss, and we found one right there because we're going to need to take down at least one of those as well. It would be really nice to have a perfected weapon as we go into this. So there we go. We saw we had the dragon, so we started making our staff. And we have to remember that we had 2 poof balls, 2 trees, and 3 rocks. So this right here would be our 4th rock. And we're going to need a lot of gems. So anytime that we find these mid-level monsters right here, like the wolf or the unicorn, we should definitely be harvesting their crystals, because they will become a limiting factor as we start making all of this perfected armor. It takes a lot of gems. I forget the exact number, but as long as you're killing your demi-boss and as many of the small and medium, especially the medium size monsters as you can, you shouldn't really be running into an issue with how many gems you need. But it's definitely around 400 or 500 gems, so you're going to need a lot of those crystal shards as we're doing our scavenging. Well, let's see, the dragon is down, and we got really lucky right here where we had the ranger as well. And those are my 2 favorite those are my 2 favorite weapons, especially when learning the Corrupted Gauntlet, right? Because that way we don't always have to be close to the boss. We can kind of hit him from anywhere in the arena as long as we feel safe to actually launch an attack. And that's one of the benefits, in my opinion, of having both the range and the magic weapon when we're going into the boss. But what's really nice about this combat achievement is that we're going to have that perfected armor. So not only is the boss not going to be hitting us very much, so we're not going to need as much food as we might need during a normal Corrupted Gauntlet run, but we're going to also be able to hit our max hit. So here we go. We're still gathering our supplies, and it's probably time to head back to that starter room because our inventory is completely full, and we need to start making our armor and seeing how many more supplies we need, And eventually we're going to have to start doing a little fishing as well because we have less than 4 minutes left on the clock. So we can finish up our bow, and now we have a nice bow and a staff to be able to take the boss down. But we need to finish up our perfected armor, as well as start thinking about our potions and our fish. So we're gonna go start looking. While we do need to keep getting our trees, our poof balls, and our rocks, we need to start getting that fish as well. Like I said, we're not going to need a full inventory of fish because we do have this perfected armor, which is going to make the boss fight itself a little bit easier. But time is of the essence, and we're going to still need some fish. So it's time to start going fishing and start worrying about making our potions. And it looks like we're still going to need to gather at least another poof ball or two to finish up that full perfected armor. So we can run around because we only have 200 crystals right now. So getting those extra crystals to make sure that we have enough for our full set of armor is going to be crucial. And you can see that we still need 2 more pieces of armor. So that means that we're going to need to grab another poof ball or two. So we're going to go start fishing while looking for at least 2 more poof balls. And it looks like we have a couple up here in the corner. And I think that this room is absolutely full of them. Yep, so this will actually finish our harvesting for the armor, and now we can start worrying about getting our as many fish as absolutely possible. So here's one of our herbs. We'll grab that really quick, and we're going to need at least 1 more herb as well as some fish. And we don't have any fish right now, so things aren't looking good on the food end. And we can kill monsters as we drive by, but we're really only killing them for fish at this point, which we didn't get very lucky. We didn't get any fish, but we did get some herbs right here. So we need to, at some point, we need to get back to the main home point. We need to make our, finish up our armor, and we need to go get that fish. So let's see if we have enough shards right now to make our armor. And it looks like we did. And we can also make our potion vials as well. So we're done harvesting. We're done harvesting, and now all we need to do is focus on getting our fish to take down the final fight. And we can kill monsters as we're hunting for fish, but we don't want to focus our time on actually wasting time killing the monsters. We're just looking to kill them as we run by, and hopefully they drop a couple fish on the ground. And we're getting really unlucky with those fish. We don't have a teleport to get back home. So we need to be thinking to ourselves, right? Because we only have 1 minute left and we want to get as many fish as possible. But we still need to be able to make it back to the home zone and cook those fish before we go into the boss room. So this pool right here might be our last opportunity to actually get fish. And we're probably going to have to fight the boss with about 10 to 12 fish on us because we really don't have enough time to keep harvesting. Yeah, and there's no luck in this room. We might be able to get a couple fish here really quick, but we really got to get back. We need to start cooking this fish, and we need to get prepared to take down the boss. We have 20 seconds left, so we're going to cook as many of these fish as possible. We might not be able to finish all of them off, and we're definitely cutting it close here on time. But hopefully we can get a good amount of fish to go into this boss with. And let's start thinking about taking down the boss. So it looks like we were able to finish our full supply of fish, but we weren't able to organize our inventory very well. But honestly, that's okay. It looks like the boss is going to start with Prey Mage, so we will throw on our perfected bow. And at this point, all we got to do is clutch out the kill. So this is just like a regular corrupted gauntlet kill. Nothing special that we have to do in the boss fight, except for actually take him down with somewhat limited supplies. But we do have quite a few fish. We did end up making it into the boss chamber with quite a few fish. And because we have that corrupted armor, he's going to be doing very little damage to us as the fight goes on. But we still want to be playing well, especially if when you're running this, if you happen to have a few less fish than I do, it just means that we need to play better and better during the actual boss fight. But we're going to want to enter the boss, in my opinion, with probably at least 10 fish. 10 fish would be really safe. Anything more than that, and you're getting almost overkill. We can see we entered the boss fight actually with 16 fish. which is really, really nice. But you can see that the boss hasn't even done 30 total damage to us. When we have all this full set of perfected corrupted armor, the boss does very little damage to us. And that's kind of the concession for spending so much time on actually farming our armor, is that it's really going to help us, and we can slack off on some of that food or on some of those potions because he's really not going to be doing much damage to us at all. But we do still want to play well. We don't want to use food unnecessarily. But what I like to do is once I start eating, I like to get my health completely filled up. Back up into the 90s or at least the high 80s, but I prefer to be back up in at least the low 90s or maybe even the full 99. But we can see right now that the boss is actually over half dead. We're approaching the enrage phase, and we have a really healthy amount of supplies at this point. And we just need to make sure that we can actually clutch out the kill. So we don't want to get sloppy. We don't want to get complacent. We just want to be able to play safe at this point and take the boss down and get that kill. The only thing holding us back from the combat achievement is really dying to the boss once we've created our full set of corrupted, perfected armor. So we're getting down to about 60 health, so it might be a good time to think about healing up, especially now that he's in his enrage phase. And mistakes always can and do happen in the enrage phase, so it's good to get that high HP. So if we make that mistake, we'll be good to go, and we can actually slack off a little bit. Especially when we have all these tornadoes cornering us like that, things can get really sketchy. And so it's good to have high HP if possible. So here we go. We'll get our HP up a little bit and make sure our prayer is also high so we don't accidentally drop our prayer when we least expect it. That's another thing, right? If nothing is really going on during the boss fight, if you're just kind of sitting there getting free DPS off, you might as well drink a potion if you have those doses to spare. And that way you never need to worry about your prayer points getting low. They'll just always be kind of high. But it looks like the boss is down, and we did it with a full set of perfected corrupted armor. And I think that was actually a perfect kill. We didn't miss any prayers. And we'll look at those combat achievements we got. Yep, that was actually a perfect corrupt gauntlet as well as the achievement we came here for, which was the corrupted warrior combat achievement. So yeah, I hope that helped. Like I said, there's going to be a little bit of reset scape to get those good spawns in the beginning, but keep it up, get those good spawns, make that armor, and take the boss down. Have fun, boys. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.